Hi guys, welcome to Project Sweet, Loud, Untamed Tarts, or as we know it, Project
Slut. 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 I'm a slut.
Project S.L.U.T.s, the show that educates and entertains all things sex in an inclusive and positive way. Let's put power back into being a slut and fight back slut shaming with your host, Lavi.
Hey Lavi, how you going?
Good. I feel much better. I think my voice sounds a little bit croaky still, but I think it'll do.
I mean, I think you sound pretty much like back to normal now, so...
Yeah, I sounded awful last week.
I mean, for an example, you know, off The Simpsons, is it Selma?
Like, oh my God, no. Like, Did I sound that bad?
I mean, look, it wasn't great, but you sound 100% better.
Okay, so thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, your voice sounds beautiful.
Maybe it was like subtle sickness because I just didn't want to do the last episode.
Maybe.
We're all a bit sad that the season's ending.
I know, we've had a good run.
Doesn't mean we're not going to be back in a few, I won't say how long, but we are going to be back.
I know everyone don't miss us too much.
Don't miss us too much.
And our horror stories and all the things.
How did you find the rap party we had a couple of weeks ago?
I thought it was really fun. It was nice going out and, you know, all of us girls, you know, who do the podcast wore red, which was super cute.
That was really fun.
And loved the party bus with the stripper poles. Unfortunately, they weren't, you know, like static, so I couldn't do any like tricks. But I mean, there was
my legs were so bruised after using that stripper pole.
There was a lot of slut dropping though, so that
was a good time. I really liked having all the guests that we had on join us on the party bus. That was really fun. I think everyone was really surprised by the bus too, so I think that was also like a good little kind of wrap up our season.
Yeah, like a few of my friends, when like I told them that like, oh, we've got a surprise outside, they were like, what's a surprise? And I was like, well, if you follow me, like you'll find out. And when they saw the bus, they were like, oh my God. And I was like, get on, we're going for drives. So, and the music was like pretty good. So
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
How's your week been?
It's been actually really good. It's gone so fast, but like I guess like the highlight of my week was buying my ticket to Hedonism, the Black Label on the 27th of August.
27th of August. I'm excited to check out Black Label.
I'm so excited.
I wonder what the vibe is going to be like, because both of us have now been to Hedonism X number, whatever the regular Hedos. We've been to the older crowd Hedo, which I really enjoyed. I didn't mind it.
I actually prefer Hedonism X for some reason. I don't know if it's because like I'm like, you know, almost 30, but everybody was just a lot more, I don't know, just seemed to know what they're doing and a bit more like chill and
they felt seasoned more.
Yeah, that was a good vibe.
Yeah, I actually liked it. So now we're going to try out Black Label. I'm very excited.
Got my outfit planned already from Honeybee. That's all you're getting, listeners.
Yeah, I got to sort out my outfit. But I am actually very excited to check out Hedonism Black Label on the 27th of August.
It's going to be fun.
Going to be fun. So today, for our last and final episode of season 1, we're just going to have a look back at how far we've come and why we do this. I mean, a lot of people always question and be like, "Why do you do this?" Or when, you know, like for example, when we were at the wrap up party, and those guys were asking like, "Oh, what's your podcast about?" And then you say, "Oh, it's about sex and slut shaming," and they kind of look at you, and it's not just about sex and slut shaming.
Yeah,
we have so many elements about it, and I think one of the main reasons why we do it is to fight back slut shaming.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, so
you did your homework again. I'm so proud.
I did do my homework today. I did it properly. So I did like a little, I guess, like definition on like slut shaming. So slut shaming is essentially putting people down and criticizing them because their behavior doesn't match with what society calls normal behavior regarding, you know, to issues regarding like their sexuality and things like that.
Yeah. So when I was, doing my little bit of research, there's a thing called SDS, which is the sexual double standard, where men are exemptions to certain sexual behaviors where women aren't, and that just stems from a long history of women being more oppressed than men. So for example, men are more likely to be high-fived for banging a lot of chicks, and a woman is more likely to be called a whore for sleeping with a bunch of dudes.
Or a slut.
Or a slut. That's it. They're slut shamed. And no, it's not right. I think if you're going to be a whore, doesn't matter what gender you are, shouldn't be oppressed for it, shouldn't be shit on for it. And that goes for sex workers. If you're a stripper, skimpy, escort, whether you just like to dress in a certain way, your way of expressing your sexuality and how you like to be doesn't give anyone else the right to be mean to you about it.
Yeah, like to me, there's nothing better than seeing, you know, like a female or like a male, you know, dressing in something, you know, let's say not what you would normally, and like they're confident and they're feeling themselves in it, like they're not asking for it. Like that's just their way of like, you know, expressing who they are and like how they like to dress. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I love when I go on Instagram, especially when I go on the project socials and we follow a lot of industry girls and I see them doing all sorts of photo shoots and I'm like, I'm in love with it. I love the confidence. I love seeing what they find sexy and what they're putting themselves out there with. And I mean, I love to do that myself. I mean, I'm just a little bit more reserved than a lot of other girls, but I love seeing other women put themselves out there like that.
Yeah, like I recently saw it was like a post from the girls at the Penthouse, and they were all wearing like mini shorts and like bikini tops, like walking down like an alleyway, and they had their hair flicked back and they were just like all confident, and like I was like, fuck yes, like that is a picture.
That's
like,
hot.
I was like, yep, like. I want to like this 1,000 times, but sadly I can only like it once. So yeah.
No, I love that. Women's confidence, like, you know, just comes from within. And like, I think if you show yourself as confident as a sexual being, it encourages other women to also do the same. And that's kind of what I'd like to do with our podcast. I mean, that's why I decided to do it, because I was so sick of all the sexual double standards that women got and men didn't. I was sick of being assumed that I was a slut or a whore because of the way I dressed or the way I posed on Instagram. And you know what? When we started doing this, we started realizing how many more women and men were in the same situation as we were.
Yeah.
Who just felt like, why do I need to oppress this side of me just because other people and society think it's wrong? Like, who actually said sex is wrong?
Literally no one.
Sex is how we live. Just being real, just like on the basic biology, if we don't have sex, we don't have a human race.
Exactly. It's science.
Exactly. It's science. So why are we being oppressed for it?
We'll be right back.
You ready?
Yeah, always ready. Born ready.
Have you been? Tell me about your week.
I've been great. Yeah, my week's been pretty busy with work. Holidays are over. Quite sad. Actually, no. My life is a holiday.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah. Yeah, so what else did I do this week? Bought tickets to Black Label Hedonism.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
So you're attending Black Label then?
Yeah, I bought a couple ticket for me in my primary.
Oh, nice. Have you been to the Hedonism Black Label events before?
I've been to plenty of hedonism events. Never been to a Black Label event. I've heard that Black Label is more of a small, intimate sort of gathering as compared to the other Hedo parties.
Oh yeah.
So keen to see this. I've made a lot of friends at Hedo, so I feel a lot more comfortable now than I was before attending previous hedonism events. And
I heard you went to the hedonism parties that are for the older crowd.
Yes, so for the first time I went to Hedo X,
and
one of the Hedo X events.
And how did you find it?
Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought. In my mind I was thinking, hey, okay, there's going to be a lot of mature people there, a lot older than me. I mean, I don't even fit that category because at my age I'm 25. However, everyone was so chill. Got to see a lot of new faces, which was great. A lot of big dudes, bigger than me. I felt really intimidated.
You take your ego, take a hit?
I don't really have ego, but it was kind of nice seeing, got a lot of inspiration.
Speaking of partying, how did you enjoy our season 1 wrap party?
Oh, absolutely amazing. Honestly, it was surprise after surprise after surprise. The night was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it.
Because we put on a party for all the guests that have been on season 1, and that included you.
Yes, of course.
And so, how did the night go?
Well, the night started off pretty early. We first started off at a bar. Never been to this bar. I loved it. Amazing. And the host, our lovely host, had surprised all of us with a party bus. Honestly, yeah, it got me by surprise. And I think everyone was surprised, definitely. Did not expect that at all. I had an absolute blast.
Oh, I'm really glad you enjoyed your time on season 1 wrap party. It was really nice having you there. Speaking of season 1, what have you enjoyed the most about the project this season?
Honestly, I've enjoyed every single episode. I don't think they're long enough because they're great. I drive to work and I listen to them on my way to work. If you were to ask me what my favorite episode is, I would say it's Mon's sex bag.
Oh yeah,
episode.
we did like Mon's sex bag episode. What about it did you like?
Well, what I loved about it was all the cool things that she had. A lot of things which I did not know existed.
Oh yeah.
A lot of fine details as well with the sex toy cleaning products. Yeah, that was really new to me. I was like, oh, well, you can't just use like Morning Fresh detergent just to wash them. No, but you gotta have.
Just run it through your dishwasher.
I mean, probably not your dishwasher.
A little birdie's told me since the episode you featured on first with the Black Widow, you've used it quite a bit.
Yes, that's right. Me and the Black Widow. It's Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah, and who's Batman and who's Robin?
Oh, of course I'm Batman.
Are you sure? I feel like the Black Widow does more of the work anyways.
Hey.
You know, we've been talking a lot about why we do this project, and Mons and I covered a little bit about the reason we do this is because we want slut shaming to stop. And a big contributor to slut shaming is the inequality in genders.
That's right.
And so we were chatting about it earlier today, about toxic masculinity and how that kind of affects slut shaming and how it kind of is a culture on its own, but it actually affects women more so.
That's right. Now, on the topic of toxic masculinity, I never knew that was a term until last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was the way I came across it was through TikTok, funnily enough.
TikTok, god damn it.
It's
like the new Wikipedia for young people.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You get to learn months and months of research in like a 3-minute video while you're taking a shit. So, I mean, it is quite useful in certain aspects. So, when I actually went and Googled toxic masculinity, and I just couldn't find a definite answer for it, because I feel like everyone has a different definition for it, definition to toxic masculinity. If you were to ask me what toxic masculinity is, if I were to sort of think more deeply about the term, I would say it's more about the way guys treat women amongst the guys.
It's the culture, the negative culture that men are exuding into our society that affects more than just themselves.
Yes, that's right.
And so you talked about men respecting and women.
Yeah, that's right. So
could you give us an example?
That's right. Yeah. So I'll explain a bit further. What I really hate with guy culture is when they all get together in the groups and they start talking about, oh, I bang this girl, I bang that girl, and they start showing photos and things like that amongst themselves, and like in a term sort of boasting. I really find that really cringy, to be honest, because
and it's so weird because that's such a normal thing that you'd expect guys to do. It's kind of accepted that that's what guys do and share amongst each other.
Unfortunately, it is. Unfortunately, you're right that it is accepted as a norm in society now amongst guys. If you think about it, a woman's given you her time, her energy, and effort to spend some time with you, and she's given you her trust. The least you could do is respect her, either in front of her or even behind her back. See how the differences are between genders? Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, if you were to tell me right now, you know, you just banged 10 women on the weekend, and we were like, oh yeah, cool, let's give you a high five. But if I said, hey guys, I just banged 10 dudes on the weekend, you'd be kind of looking at me like, whoa. I mean, not you specifically, but I mean, society would be like, that's not cool.
That's right.
Why is it cool for you to bang 10 girls and not for me to bang 10 guys?
Yeah, see how that's a bit... What's the word that I'm looking for?
Double standard?
Double standards, yeah, yes, that's right.
The sexual double standard.
On the money there. Some certain people would think if you go back to, like, let's say, Neanderthal times.
Neanderthal
times. So if you think about it, well, a man's job is to spread his seed, right? And a woman's job is to filter out those seeds.
Yes, I get where you're going.
You get where I'm going with that? So that's nature's talk, right? If you think about it. But
women have always been put into the parental role because they're
more nurturing?
They are more nurturing. I mean, we're the ones that give birth. So women are automatically seen as the more submissive in sexual dynamics, and men are seen as more dominant and therefore can, give, there's only so many kids a woman could have at a time, whereas men can father women. And I think that culture has ingrained into today's society where we are oppressing women sexually from a very long-stemmed biological
That's
route.
right. That's definitely right. I mean, in certain countries in the world, the norm for a guy to have multiple women partners, whereas you go into the Western world, that does not work. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So you can definitely see the inequality in those two different worlds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any culture in society where a woman is allowed to have like 6 husbands.
Yeah.
That's not fair. I could use with 6 husbands, to be honest. At least got one for every day of the week, and then you got like Sunday rest day.
High libido, hey?
Yeah, definitely. Which, like, chatting about, toxic masculinity and the ways that which the gender inequality kind of contributes to slut shaming. Is there any ways that you feel like as a guy that you can help stop slut shaming? Is there things that you can say to other dudes about respecting women, about, I guess, labeling certain characteristics and behaviors?
Well, honestly, what I could say is think about it in a way like if you've got a sister, would you like other guys talking about your sister in that way, the way you're talking about the girls that you were talking about banging?
Yeah.
In a way, respect the women that you are with. Your sister be treated by other men.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's exactly like, you wouldn't give the disrespect to a woman that you were related to, so why do that to another woman?
Oh, exactly right, 100%. I mean...
Exactly, and I think you have a really good point that one of the ways that men and women out there can start, stopping that toxic slut-shaming culture where we are oppressing people, especially women, for the way that they behave sexually and they, put themselves out there, is just to respect people. Start to respect the people that you're with, whether it's intimately or not. Doesn't matter what they're doing or how they're behaving. Just respect them.
Definitely.
So, you've kind of remained anonymous on this podcast, and there are lots of reasons for that. A lot of our guests have remained anonymous. Season 2 is coming up. We've got a lot of more exciting things. Does that include the reveal of your identity at all?
Hey, look, I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no.
Oh.
Yes, no, maybe. I don't know.
And I know you mentioned that you quite enjoyed the kink series because of the fetishes.
Yes, that's right. I did mention that earlier. And I do... For the longest time, I thought I had a fetish, right? Mm-hmm. For a very long time. I'm talking since like year 8.
Okay.
And I thought I had a problem. I was like,
You do have a problem, but that's a separate issue.
I thought this was really weird. Why am I sexually attracted to this sort of aspect?
Come on. You don't want to reveal your fetish?
No, not yet. Hey, look, we've got to keep it juicy. Season 2 is around the corner. So that kink series really opened my eyes and made me realize that I didn't really have a fetish. I've got a kink.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that kind of almost relieving to know?
Helped me with my curiosity because I thought I was really high end on the spectrum, lie more on the kink side than the fetish side. So I'm not the weirdo that I thought I was.
You are, but again, it's different.
Now that I've accepted it.
What are you looking forward to most in season 2?
Oh, that's a good question.
Can we tell our listeners whether you and your fetish will be revealed?
Oh, you really put me in the corner. Right? Hey, look, to be honest, I was going to ask you, can you get someone else to pop the cherry first with their fetish or kinks? And
what are you talking about? Mon revealed like a bunch of her kinks. Mistress Mercy did everything she was into. I'm pretty sure I talked about my kinks.
Okay, look, can we get another guy to get something? Hey, look, okay, you know what? I'll bite the bullet.
You bite the bullet in season 2?
Because I feel like if I do reveal it, a lot of people can relate to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I am making such a big deal about it, which really it isn't, because it is the most common kink, right?
I think the thing is, the reason why we're doing the podcast is to normalize sex and to normalize things like kinks and fetishes, because there are so many more people out there than you think would not have these fetishes and kinks, and they do. And I think by even you revealing, you know, something that you're potentially scared to reveal would make other people feel like, wow, maybe my kink is a bit normal. Maybe I shouldn't be so ashamed of it.
Definitely, yeah. I feel like that is a great point. And definitely a great reason as well for me to come out.
to come out the kink closet.
The kink closet, yes.
Okay, so we've really enjoyed having you on the show. I mean, your bad boners episode was really funny. I know a lot of people are curious how your boners are going since.
Oh yeah, my boner's going really well now. I've actually I've lost a lot of weight, so that sort of helped. I don't know why, but I just feel like it's a bit more girthier.
So you think you've lost weight, and do you think it's gone into your dick? You've gained some girth. I mean, guys, if anyone wanted to know an update on his boner, that's going well.
It's going really well. Thanks for wondering, guys.
Well, I guess this is my last hello for season 1. Hello, my lovelies. It is really nice to be back for the last episode.
And you look fabulous while doing it, I must say.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, a lot, I guess, has happened since I was last on. But yeah, it's really, really nice to dress up occasionally.
When were you last on? I can't even remember.
Head Game with Hunter.
Oh my God, Head Game. That was a really good episode.
It was a good episode.
We had a lot of people wanting a video along with that episode.
Of course they did.
So can we expect a tutorial in season 2?
I mean, with this mouth, of course you can.
Speaking of episodes, besides your own, what have you enjoyed the most about season 1?
Oh God, I think it's the whole thing. It was like, you know, it was such a build up to the launch of Project S.L.U.T. that, you know, you get so amped for it and you're just waiting for that launch date, and then we finally launched and it happened, and it's just been like a ball since then. Like everyone that's appeared on all the episodes, all the stories. Oh, it's just been so much fun.
It's been crazy because if you think about it, we actually only launched 3 months ago.
Yeah.
It's been a hectic 3 months since the first episode.
Oh my God, like how crazy has like this whole 3 months been? It's just insane. All the things that have happened.
All the things that we've done.
Yep.
all the people we've done.
All the people we've done. All the people we're planning to do. All the things we're planning to do.
We have a lot of new things, exciting things coming in season 2.
Season 2, yeah, I'm excited.
So you did an interesting role play the other night.
I did, and it was a actual role play with my partner, which was pretty fun.
But it somehow crosses into horror stories. So how does that work?
Well, because my partner essentially knows that I'm a sex worker, and we were joking about massages, and he has borrowed my massage table. You know what? I've been giving out all these massages lately, and I haven't actually had a massage myself in fucking ages. And I was like, I can give you a massage. And he just looked at me. He was like, you or Hunter?
Ooh, spicy.
And I was like, oh, stop it. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm down.
So he picked Hunter, which is your sex worker alter ego.
It is my alter ego, and it ended up being a really fun night. Like,
so how did it go?
Well, I set the room up. There was like candles and everything, and you just happened to put on a song, and like you do the whole radio thing, so like you don't worry about creating the playlist, but it does it itself. And I swear to God, like every song that played was fucking perfect.
Oh, what songs did we have?
Well, the one that I originally chose was Gods and Monsters by Lana Del Rey.
Nice.
Really good song.
Sensual.
Really set the vibe. And it was really fun because I think he didn't actually quite expect me to be as good as I was at the massage.
Really? He expected you to underperform at this stage?
I don't know, but like I think he genuinely was just like not expecting the level that I brought to it. It got really fun because he's just like cracking jokes left, right and center, and I'm just like genuinely giggling while we're doing this whole role play situation. And like to bed, and somehow it stopped for like the role play, and then like we're in bed and he starts telling me about the role play as if like as if I'm like
You weren't
me
there?
and he's telling me about some girl he's been with. And he's like, I wasn't going to tell you anything, but I have to tell you. She was so much like you. And I was just like, oh really?
How similar was she?
Apparently really similar. Funny that.
Well, did Hunter bill him at the end of the night?
Hunter got her money's worth, don't worry.
So I wanted to be a part of Project S.L.U.T.s, to help educate and use my own experiences to help those, individuals who might need a little help finding, who they might be, like the kinks that they might be into, and share a little bit of a light on, why slut shaming is unacceptable, and of course to make our listeners laugh with all of our spicy horror stories, and I guess to open up to our listeners about things I don't tell my parents.
Oh, you definitely don't tell your parents a lot of these things, do we?
No, and they don't know about this podcast just yet.
Just yet. I mean, I don't know if you remember where my parents were sent photos of my Instagram photos that had been leaked onto a porn site.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
And I remember initially getting yelled at for it by my parents, and I'm thinking, wow, like it's just so cliche that, I'm doing this podcast where I'm trying to fight back slut shaming, and here it is, my parents victim blaming. Like, I didn't put my own photos on a porn site, yet I was the one blamed for it. And I think that just comes because like I come from a stricter culture and they're not very accepting about sex and open about it. And so my parents' reaction was to yell at me for it. And I remember sitting in my car crying, thinking, wow, like I really am fighting a battle that I have to start at home. When I approached you, I thought, you know what, this is someone who's quite open. This is probably the perfect person to do this with.
It was. So nice of you to say.
I mean, you are the perfect person to do this with. You can just tell people what we just happened, our little dilemma.
So our little recording device decided to die, and Lavinia didn't pack any spare batteries, so there's me running through my sex bag trying to find a toy that has a battery in it, and we found one. So I was like, okay, this better do. So yeah, we're back here.
We're back here on a time crunch because we don't know if this will die again, and Montana has no more batteries in her sex toys.
Nope, none.
I'm really excited for season 2. I feel like a lot of people, when they listen to our podcast, they find it relatable. I know that I've gotten so many messages of people saying like, oh my God, that happens to me too. Or people who want to be on the podcast as well.
Mm-hmm. I've had like so many people like DM me saying like, oh, I've got like a juicy story I'd love to share with you. And I'm like, all right, like hit me with it. Like I'll have a read and then I'll like tell the boss if we can put it on.
I know. I mean, it's like we should have like a little event one day and just get everyone's juicy stories.
Yeah, we'd probably get quite the list, that's for sure.
Definitely have a lot of sluts in Perth. I'm very proud of us.
I'm so proud of us.
We're not this little prude little city that everyone thinks we are.
No.
We've had a very wild season 1. I can't be specific on what my favorite episode so far was. But what was your favorite episode, or have been your favorite episodes?
My favorite episode was probably the one on poly and open relationships, because I feel like that's a topic that I think is still quite new to a lot of people in Perth. Spoken about that often, like the word like open relationships, or like, oh yeah, my partner sees other people, but like it's kind of like leaves it at there. Like there's not like, it doesn't go into like what polyamory is, and like like polyam and unicorn and all the umbrella that comes with it. But that could be another episode.
Yeah, I know. I definitely think polyamory and open relationships, like the kink series, needs to be definitely a parted series, because there's just so much to cover on those topics.
Yeah, and I reckon probably my second favourite one was definitely the kink series. Like,
oh, yeah.
When you got to interview Mistress Mercy, hearing about what she does, and I think that was really an eye-opener, and I learned quite a lot as well, because I've been doing a little bit of like female dominatrix myself, and like I definitely picked up a few tips and tricks from her.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I always learn something from all of our guests. I mean, definitely from Mistress Mercy, I found out so much about people in Perth that are way more kinkier than I realised. Mm-hmm. She kind of spurred a conversation about males participating in heteronormative sex. In layman terms, guys getting it up the butt. And, you know, I'm thinking, you know, that can't be that common. Surely it's not, because I don't really hear about it often. And within my own sexual partners, it's never been a topic. I mean, most of guys are afraid of their butts, right? Mm-hmm. But after I spoke to her and I put up a lot of polls and questions on our Instagram, we had a lot of guys saying that they really enjoyed butt play and getting prostate like massages, and they like dildos. And
yeah,
I was so surprised because a lot of these males were straight, and it was just something they enjoyed. And I just thought, this is so cool that we're talking about something and other people are becoming more open with it, and they're exploring, and they're not afraid to say, hey, I like it up the butt and I'm straight.
Yeah, like I've got a few straight friends who like, you know, quite enjoy if you like butt stuff, and they're still, you know, exploring it, and you can tell they're a little bit like still a little bit unsure about it, but like I'm nothing but supportive, and like try all the things, you know, like, because yeah, like it might be your new kink or something you really enjoy doing, and you could do it with someone else.
Have you learned anything about yourself or like your sexuality or anything like that during our series?
Definitely, I'd say like opening up as a person, because I'm quite private, and, you know, like sharing that time where I sent that dirty text to my dad, which is something...
That is still my favourite horror story ever.
Like, that is something that, you know, only my parents ever knew about, and, you know, sharing that I'm into a little bit of like female domination and dominatrix and stuff, and, you know, like that's quite private and personal to me. So yeah, definitely it's like this project has helped me open up even about my own sexuality as well, you know, like not just being attracted to men but also being attracted to women, and like I think it's shaped me more as a person.
Listening to the guests from my point of view have definitely opened up, and it's one thing to talk about sex with your friends, but to actually talk about it like this, you know, it's kind of scary because it's like everybody is looking into our private lives. I really enjoyed talking about and learning things about myself, but you know, it's actually a very scary thing to say this and then put it out there for everybody to listen to. Mm-hmm. You know, we run the risk of, you know, like you said, our parents, you know, our close friends, our work colleagues, finding out things about us that we wouldn't usually share with them face to face.
Yep.
But, you know, we're doing this so in hopes that other people feel more comfortable and other people start thinking about their own selves and are being open more, and hopefully all of this communal things will stop slut shaming eventually.
I hope so too.
I would love to live in a culture where, you know, you could wear exactly what you're wearing right now, which is a very tight leopard dress with some beautiful pearls on your neck.
Oh, thank you.
Looking very rich housewife.
Love that for me.
I know. I'd love you to be able to wear that out there and people not automatically assume that, you know, you must be some sort of sugar baby or like you're using your body. Like, no, you're just dressed up the way you want to dress up.
Yeah, like I like the way I dress, and, you know, I feel confident in this, and I should be able to go out in public and, you know, like feel myself in it without having any guilt or judgment from, you know, people, you know, talking about me in such a way.
Let's go back to announcements.
Our announcements.
Yeah. Season 2, my lovelies, we are going to be having longer episodes.
Yes, everyone wants us to last longer here.
Last longer, be longer.
What else do we have in store?
We have some exclusive content coming out.
Yes, we do.
I'm very excited to hear about
some
that.
X-rated content that's only going to be viewed by certain people.
Oh shit, are we doing something like OnlyFans?
Well, we won't be able to say that right now.
Bum, bum, bum.
You'll just have to wait for season 2.
Oh, video episodes.
Yes, because everyone wants to see us.
Everyone wants to see us. Is this like full body, or are we talking about like specific areas of the being videoed?
I think people want to see us talking. Honestly, I'm not opposed to that. However, most of the time, I want to say 95% of the time I'm recording, I'm in my pajamas. I mean, you look quite fabulous tonight. I mean, I'm in gym gear, so...
Well, you caught me as I'm going out the door.
Yes, and you look fantastic.
Thank you. More guest appearances by some, I guess, people that we haven't interviewed yet.
Yes, there is a very exclusive interview coming for season 2 with a very high profile event organizer that we keep mentioning on our show.
Oh.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Are we talking about
Well, that will also be revealed in season 2, so stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that, kiddies.
All right, well, it's been really, really nice having you on season 1. Obviously, this would not be what it is without you.
Oh, thank you very much for that. But I am merely just, one of the cogs in the big machine. You are the creator and you've done a wonderful job. It's very exciting.
Oh, thank you.
All right, my lovelies. Season 1 has been so much fun. I am really excited for season 2 and I really look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, bye.
Thanks for listening, peeps. And keep listening to Project Sweet, Loud, Untamed Tarts.
All right, well, it's been amazing, coming on here and sharing, like my personal life with you guys, my knowledge. And yeah, I'll miss you all.
That's all we have time for today. I hope you enjoyed tuning into Project Slut. Stay safe, stay whorish, and we'll see you soon.